Once everyone's all woke it'll be great.
Woke's a dangerous word to use. I feel like people are going to mock it in the future.
Woke?
Yeah. I feel like using woke now, like unironically, is super slippery. I see a trap coming.
You do?
The jiu-jitsu practitioner in me is like, I don't like this move. This is, I know where this leads.
Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I die before I wake.
In the beginning, things were simple. In the beginning, things were clear. Sure, there were obstacles that society had to address, but what burgeoning society that is the pinnacle of what it means to be a first world country hasn't had its share of tribulations to overcome? But one thing was for sure. Dogs barked, cats meowed, boys were made of snakes, snails, and puppy dog tails, and girls were made of sugar and spice and many other things that contribute to diabetes. Children believed that babies were delivered by a stork, and when their parents thought that it was the right time, they informed their children about the birds and the bees, and that babies actually came out of a woman's body as a result of a man impregnating her. This was the reality of a once upon a dream. Why a dream, you ask? A dream because somewhere along the way, somehow, we woke up. And now, for all I know, my dad could have been my mother, my brother could have been a stork, and my mother could have been a man that just so happened to defecate a baby once upon a time. My birth certificate determined that I was a boy upon my birth, but now I identify as a sentient, confused individual, longing for the days of simplicity before I apparently woke.
Nobody needs you to advocate for how difficult it is to use gender-neutral pronouns. Nobody said that the gender binary was easy. These are not my preferred pronouns. These are my pronouns. You will use them, or you will not refer to me.
Okay, so the rule is you can't offend anyone. All right? Let's say you're speaking to one person. I can't offend you. All right, fair enough. What if I'm speaking to 10 people? Do I get to offend 1 in 10? How about 1 in 100? How about 1 in 1,000? You're going to come out on stage and you're going to say something important about something vital, and you're not going to offend one person in 1,000?
Male gametes. That's what makes me male.
No, your sperm don't make you male.
Then what does?
These nuts.
It's a constellation.
In reality.
Nope.
You still think that boys should follow my daughter in a bathroom. Does anybody up there have a daughter?
Next, we got them, right? Okay, so them, we got, that's just combining them and him. Them. You know? I went to a movie with him the other night. Last one, theirs. Okay? It's just like theirs, but like also like hers. Theirs. That jacket's theirs. Yes, this just sounds like they, them pronouns, but with the new ultra-scientific method, we have them so they've combined he and she as well. Everybody gets you with thee, them, theirs today.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
But it doesn't stop there. Before we all apparently woke, there was an old wise man by the name of Archie Bunker, who would foreshadow in a song what seems to be the current state of certain gender debacles.
And you do when you want it. Dance for girls and men, woman. Dance for girls and men, woman. On day one, I will revoke Joe Biden's cruel policies on so-called gender-affirming care.
It's time to set the record straight on what gender-affirming care is and what gender-affirming care is not.
You're going too far, dog.
Gender-affirming care is age-appropriate care that is medically necessary for the well-being of many transgender and non-binary people.
You don't think it's weird to chop your dick off?
Don't cut his dick off, bro.
So whether you chopped it off or whether you decided to keep it, the goalpost continues to move in hopes that there's no distinction between what is a man and what is a woman versus what is a woman and what is a female. It went from woman is a social construct and female was genetic
Female is genetic. Woman is a part of social construct. What?
Therefore making woman open to arbitrary interpretation and female off limits, to biological males no longer identifying as trans women, but now identifying as trans females.
You said that you're a trans woman.
I trans female.
Female is genetic. Woman is a part of social construct. What?
I trans female. Yes, ma'am, sir.
Do you have a penis?
That's horrible.
You're the one that brought that into the discussion.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Do you have a penis?
Don't say penis in this house! Penis!
One of these things is not like the others. One of these things doesn't belong.
The fact that they're confusing the children as well.
Yeah.
That is what is peeing me off.
But
Because
you see,
I'm a mother of two. Do you
as far as I'm
understand?
concerned, she's a child to me, considering my son.
Yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, they're starting confusing the children already. Otherwise, if she doesn't know who she is, what a woman is, then what chance do we spend for your children?
Well, they say that 80% of kids who experience any sort of gender dysphoria as children grow out of it. So when you have a society that reinforces it, and then in Canada, they're passing laws now that say that if a kid says, you have a girl, and the girl says, I'm a boy, and she's 3, that the government can come into your house and take the kid, because obviously if you don't want to humor the kid and get the kid treatment or surgery or hormone blockers, then you're obviously doing something wrong to the kid. This is just, it's insane.
And by the way, I hope you know that there are parents in this country, in Canada and in the USA, who have lost custody of their own children for refusing to affirm their gender confusion.
Them kids are not transsexuals. Dwayne Wade boy is dealing with 2 demented adults.
No one is even allowed to ask, what are the consequences of an 8-year-old child being given severe drugs that alter their physiology for the rest of their life?
Take the power out of the hands of the parents and place it into the hands of the children, and reinforce it with penalties executed by the state. The irony in the wokeism ideology is that one must willfully fall into a state of logical slumber, and reasoning must also be laid to rest. But there are many among us who believe that the line is drawn when the state of wokeism comes for the children.
First of all, if anyone tried to do that with my kid, I would meet them at the door with a gun. I mean, this is the kind of stuff where you're talking legit civil war. Like when you say that the government can take people's kids from them because the government knows better than you how to parent your kids on basic things like, are you a boy or a girl? That's going to get violent pretty quickly. If you send someone to my door with a gun saying, I'm taking your daughter from you because your daughter says she's a boy at school, and you're not going to take her to a psychiatrist to start her transitioning process, no.
Be sure to subscribe for part 2 and more content.